What's up, everybody? What's up? It is October 18th, 2018, and I hope everyone is doing all right. October 18th, 2018. I like to say the date in the beginning of each stream because I think it's pretty important. I mean, it's this market's super volatile. Triple the volatility is a traditional stock market, so it's obviously pretty pertinent to what's actually going on in the market, the date and the exact time of what's happening. So we're gonna cut straight to it, guys. And what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Daddy, I guess Daddy still hasn't dissipated. That nickname still hasn't dissipated, but interesting enough. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys first what's happening. So Goldman Sachs headlines $59 million to Bitgo. So what is Bitgo? Bitgo is a simple custody solution, and we're going to talk about Bitgo a little bit, and so everyone actually knows what Bitgo actually does and is doing. And yeah, sorry about these random dots. This doesn't make much sense. Let's try to fix that. Oh, definitely not. All right, there you go. That's much better. All right. So Bitgo custody solution, the same custody solution as was what Bakkt is using. Bakkt, B-A-K-K-T. Obviously big players that are going to come into the game. It's going to be huge for the space. I mean, absolutely massive for the space. So obviously very awesome and interesting to see that. And then we have Novogratz. Obviously Novogratz, a huge player in the game. Mike Novogratz, a former Goldman Sachs member, he invested $15 million into Bitgo. Is Bakkt overrated? Absolutely not. I think Bakkt is underrated, if anything. I think that's going to be probably the most pivotal change. I'm more excited for Bakkt than any ETF that is actually trying to come in here. And so I actually wanted to show you guys what the hell Bitgo was. So if you guys are unaware of this, but Bitgo uses multi-signature wallets. Actually, what does Bitgo actually do? Bitgo, Mike Belshi actually created the multi-sig protocol, and it's open source, so anyone could use it. It is an incredibly powerful tool. We here at Monarch are actually using multi-sig wallets, and we have a patent pending feature for using multi-sig wallets for reoccurring payment solutions. So we're definitely very interested. I think the whole space is interested in what Bitgo is trying to do and how they actually do it. So I'm not going to bore you through this whole setting up a Bitgo wallet, but this screen really captures everything what Bitgo does. So for example, if you go and use any sort of normal wallet, what does a normal wallet do? Is you have your private key, your signature, your XPub, and your private pub, your private key to essentially generate a transaction and send digital assets because you have the signature. So what does that do? You have your signature, you have your private key, and your private key and your public key generates or the user's public key that you're sending to generates a hashing algorithm, and it creates a hash where then the person who has their private key that you're sending to is able to retrieve the funds that you've sent them to. So what Bitgo does is it uses multiple keys in order to send your transactions. So this is a custody solution. Okay, so it is a complete custody solution. So basically what happens is Bitgo owns your private signature or one of your signatures for your transactions. Okay, and then a user. So this will be someone in your financial department. So your CFO is your user. Your backup is your CSO or CTO, who can't access the wallet, can't access the funds, but has to be part of the transaction when withdrawing in and out of the transactions, right? Completely in and out of the wallet. So I think, hold on, let me.
Up of 3 keys, 2 of which are required to sign a transaction. It's the digital equivalent of a safe deposit box.
All right, hold on, let me rewind
which
that.
are multi-sig wallet. A Bitgo multi-sig wallet is made up of 3 keys, 2 of which are required to sign a transaction. It's the digital equivalent of a safe deposit box. The three keys are the Bitgo key, the user key, and the backup key. It's extremely important that each key is generated and stored on a separate device. No person in your organization should have access to more than one key, so you will need 2 people to fully set up your wallet credentials.
Boom. You need 2 people in order to set up your custody solution with Bitgo. It's actually not a very novel idea considering it's all open source now, and multi-sig wallets have been out for 3-4 years now, so people have already created things like this, even on the Ethereum side. So the Bitgo primarily uses Bitcoin, but you'll see, hold on. Gnosis, which is an Ethereum-based protocol, uses their multi-sig wallet, and they have everything. Their Ethereum multi-sig wallet, Bancor uses it, DistrictOX uses it, and everything is open source. The API keys are completely open source. So, like what we're saying for Bitgo, Bitgo owns half the private key, right? Or not half the private key, one of the signatures, right? So that you have to go through Bitgo in order to withdraw any funds from that wallet. You can receive anything you want, but to withdraw, you have to have that Bitgo acceptance criteria. And this is what Goldman Sachs is really investing into. Because as of right now, there's a single point of attack. So if you lose your private keys, you're screwed, right? If anyone has access to your private keys, they have access to your funds. Now that is not a very secure way of doing anything, especially for institutional backers. So what is Goldman Sachs investing in? They're investing in this multi-signature wallet protocol. That is all they're investing in. They're investing in the custody solution behind Bitgo. And I think many of these are going to start popping up, considering this is a complete open source, unpatented unpatented protocol, right? So what we're doing at Monarch is using multi-signature wallets it's called multi-signature wallet leasing, and that is essentially to use for reoccurring payments. Right now, Bitcoin, there's no such thing as a reoccurring payment solution. There's a timestamp solution, but there's no reoccurring payment solution where it's actually managed by a database. And that's really pivotal for mass adoption. I mean, who the hell here pays their cell phone bill manually every month? Who pays Spotify, Netflix, rent every single month manually? Well, I pay rent manually every month, but most people don't. I mean, it's just simply withdrawn from your account. So to use these multi-signature wallets and the multi-signature wallet protocol is an incredibly powerful tool. And that is exactly what people are hedging their bets on. And Bitgo is what is being used by Bakkt. And Goldman Sachs is investing in Bitgo. So this is a Series B, $70 million Series B funding, and it's going to be huge. Right now, assets under management for Bitgo is up to $2 billion of assets under management. So very, very interesting to see Goldman Sachs actually playing their cards and saying, hey, we're actually going to invest in these custody solutions, invest in these tools in order to get into the market and kind of make their product a little bit more superior. So this is very, very interesting to see, and I'm glad people are seeing this, and it's incredible. And right now, multi-signature wallets, if Bitgo owns half your owns a signature on your multi-signature wallet, therefore basically unhackable unless you hack, I hate the word hack, unless your CSO, your security officer, is or your CTO is vulnerable, and your CFO is vulnerable, which they should not even be talking to each other. They should not be leaving their devices in the same place. Those two are vulnerable, and Bitgo is vulnerable. So that means it's a three-pronged attack. You have to attack 3 people in order to get the funds off of a Bitgo custody solution wallet, a vault per se. Right, so this is going to be very, very big news in the space, and everyone should know what a multi-signature wallet actually is. And we're going to continue on to our next point. Okay, we're actually going to go straight back into the Bitcoin chart. So if you guys have any other questions on altcoins, you let me know, and we'll review those altcoins as well. All right. Oh, sorry. There it is. Look at that, guys. We are already seeing, let me pull this out a little bit. That's not right. Aha. Okay, let me shrink this a little bit. Whoa. Okay, so it's at $63.94, $6,400 right now. And what are we seeing on the charts right now? Well, we're gonna show you. So look at that, guys. This is the daily. I'm gonna zoom out in the daily. I'm actually gonna double click on this and zoom out on the daily. And I don't know why I'm in the middle of the screen. Yeah, we're gonna chart Ethereum as well. Absolutely. So we're seeing all these points of contention here. So we have, resistance. We have, whoa, this is hard. We have support. We have resistance again. We have resistance. We have support again. We have support one more time. We have resistance one more time. And I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna move around my camera to match my finger. See, look at that. That is resistance right there. Right, we're seeing lower and lower highs and higher and higher lows, or lower and lower lows rather. And we'll look at the support. This is key support structure here. So we're seeing a key line of support here, historical support. So this is support that's been ongoing for a time now. I mean, look, just take a look at this. Back in February, we see another support. And what's happening now? So we're coming to the end of our wedge here. So let's actually zoom in here. We're coming to the end of our wedge here, and take a look at this, guys. This was a massive tether collapse. I wouldn't call it a tether collapse, but a tether misnomer between tether and USD. So we're seeing sort of price equilibrium now, and we're gonna zoom in here, and actually I'm gonna pull this out to the 2-hour. So we're seeing a significant level of resistance at around 6,400, 6,500. And what are we doing now? Well, we're taking a little bit of a dip here because, hey, we hit that resistance. We hit a lot of buy and sell orders, and a lot of sell orders at that 6,500 mark. And now the market says, hey, we think we're going to go down now. So what's been happening the last 2 days after that huge tether mismatch there, where tether is now around 95 cents, sometimes 97 cents, not $1, which is a problem. And we're seeing a little bit of a dip here after hitting that resistance. So this is a huge indicator saying, hey, this does not look sustainable, and we're going to continue heading down. So all that bullshit, excuse my language, all that bullshit bullish sentiment, like $1 million in the next bull run and things like that, that does not apply right now. I mean, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years that'll hit $1 million, but I'm not even going to speculate on that. Is the pump coming soon? 10K pump coming soon? I don't know anything about that, but yeah, I mean, these charts are just completely wonky. Do not be overly bullish. Buy back, sell, buy back as much as you can. Every little Bitcoin, little bit amount of Bitcoin matters. Am I bullish in the short term? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But over the long run, yes, I am bullish. And I think everybody in the space right now, you're an early adopter. I think you're kind of required to be bullish. Or unless you're shorting it, doing margin trading, or expecting on futures to sell or for a sell-off and making money that way. Other than that, you're optimistic about the whole landscape in the Bitcoin economy, right? And the Bitcoin, just Bitcoin essentially. So what we have called in the Moon Lounge, and guys, what is the Moon Lounge? Well, you get, not this channel, but you get community discussion for absolutely free. There's plenty of people talking in there 24/7. So join through the Discord link if you're interested in the Moon Lounge. And if you want to upgrade to an Advantage member, there's a link down there as well. So that's in the description right now, and this is absolutely free to join the community discussion. Just the other channels is through a paywall, but you could join absolutely free in the community discussion where a lot of the talk is happening. That and trader talk, which is the advantage amount, which is really happening. So that being said, go take a look at that. We're always talking. And one of the things that I like to bring up, again, talking about Bitcoin specifically, let's expand that. And this is very, very interesting. This is a very, very recent chart, and this is showing the economic status for energy consumption, or energy usage and energy pricage of how much to mine a Bitcoin actually is right now. So what are we going to actually look at is, let's take a look at, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Look at that, Albania 3,000, American Samoa, that's an island. They're pretty energy independent, so they rely a lot on hydroelectric, wind and solar power. So it is going to be a little bit more expensive to mine a Bitcoin. But guys, just the total average is around $4,000. So it's around $4,000 on traditional averages for the states. I mean, for the world, right? That being said, guys, things like going to Texas or Montana or North Dakota, where it's significantly cheaper energy usage, to mine a Bitcoin, right? So that being said, this is going to vary through areas. In places like California is not very cheap. New York is not very cheap, because they don't have an abundant amount of resources that is just in their backyard. Whereas Texas has petroleum, Pennsylvania has coal, and California, some parts of California are heavily subsidized on the electric cost. So all this is being done through subsidiaries and strategic locations, right? That being said, I mean, just take a look at these Cook Islands, $15,000 to mine a single Bitcoin. This is their energy usage average. 14,000 in Denmark, and then there's some strategically very, very low countries that it's easy to mine Bitcoin. Check this out: Kuwait, $1,000, $1,900. Obviously, Kuwait, a very oil-rich country. If you know anything about Desert Storm, that's the whole reason why Desert Storm happened, was because of oil. And Iraq invaded Kuwait, and then America invaded Iraq because they invaded Kuwait, and that's how everything is taking place right now. And then we'll see something that's even cheaper. Oh man, you can't even see that, can you? Hold on, let me take this down, shrink this over, move this over. Sorry about that, guys. And then I'm gonna scroll down here. So we see the United States around $4,700. This is average, and we're seeing Venezuela at $531. Why? Because damn, Venezuela is part of OPEC. So what is OPEC? OPEC is it's a trade organization. I think it's Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Venezuela. I want to say Libya, maybe. I'll actually Google that later. But Venezuela as well is part of OPEC, which is an oil producing country that is sort of like a consortium to determine what the price to sell a barrel of oil is. So they're not competing with each other. They are competing with each other, but not as so much. They're actually in cahoots with each other. So United Kingdom is $8,400 to mine a single Bitcoin. This is the average energy price in the United Kingdom. But the average energy price for Venezuela is $531. So we're sitting at around $6,400 per Bitcoin. So what does this mean? Why am I showing you all this useless information, right? To mine a single Bitcoin. Why am I telling you all that? Well, I'm telling you this because should be playing in your fundamental analysis. I think Bitcoin is going to go down in the short term. I think that the huge resistance level is at $6,000. So if we break through 6,000, we're going to hit 55. And then I would say mid 4,000s. And what did we say about the mid 4,000s? It's around $4,000 to $5,000 to mine a Bitcoin on average, where these large mining consortiums exist. So OPEC is a cartel. I absolutely agree with you. OPEC is a cartel. And You know, that being said, you know, so be it. They are a cartel. I can't do much about that. Their energy usage is pretty. Their energy pricing is pretty competitive compared to the rest of the world because they're such a huge oil producing country. Venezuela being the lowest out of here. Of course, I would never want to put any mining operation in Venezuela. Why? Because that is one heck of a government there that I would not want to participate in. So I would not want to try to put any money through Venezuela. That's not very beneficial for anybody, especially having huge mining rigs, which are very expensive. But that being said, we're seeing a lot of resistance going to come through here because it's going to be if you're mining at 4,500 on average, and it's being sold at 6,500, there's your margin of $2,000, right? When you start to shrink that more and more and more, what are miners going to do? Miners aren't going to be selling their Bitcoin. Miners are not going to be selling their Bitcoin. What are they going to do? Is they're going to be holding onto their Bitcoin, therefore creating less volatility or less sell pressure. Because what miners are doing is they're selling Bitcoin in order to pay for the energy costs. So you'll see that's $4,500 not only on a technical level, and when I mean technical level, I mean charting. Not only on a, what is this, 4,500? So not only on a technical level, which is around here, where we're seeing that huge line of support and resistance here, between that band, between 3,000 and 5,000, is that $4,500 level, but also Fibonacci retracements. But we're also see on a fundamental side that miners will not let this be pushed under 4,500, hopefully. You know, miners do have an incredible power in Bitcoin's price, but they're not the end-all, be-all. And we're seeing this beautiful technical wedge where we're seeing lower and lower highs and lower lows, and we're coming to an end of that because look at that, it's being squeezed. It's being squeezed into that nice little triangle. And what am I doing? I don't know how to do this. Is that it? All right, awesome. Nice little triangle. It's being squeezed into that falling wedge, which is going to indicate some sort of price volatility. It's not going to move sideways anymore. And I'd like to say this is moving sideways, right? We're seeing a sideways action right now. So that being said, that's what I really wanted to show you guys on the Bitcoin levels and the Bitcoin charts. And I wanted to show you a couple more charts. And you know, I think education is power here. So let me actually, my head is blocking a lot of it, so I want to make sure. So the mining difficulty, what does mining difficulty mean? So the mining difficulty means how difficult it is to mine a single Bitcoin. Obviously, in 2020, it'll be twice as hard. Remember, it'll be twice as hard to mine in 2020 because the block reward will be cut in half, therefore increasing the difficulty, right? Let's look at hash rate. So this is a linear rate. I'm going to show you a logarithmic rate. So logarithmically, Bitcoin is almost at an all-time high, guys. Bitcoin is incredibly it's incredibly hard. Or incredibly used cryptocurrency. Price in USD obviously dropped. No one's surprised by that. We hit 20,000. Now we're hitting 6,400. Right. So no real surprise there. Median transaction fee. That's actually we're gonna look at this all the time. That's actually highly increased because of the massive price and huge interest in Bitcoin, but now it's being a little bit stable now. It's around 20 to 30 cents for a single Bitcoin transaction, which is not too bad, right? Not too bad at all. I don't think it's too bad, considering I don't think Bitcoin is supposed to be electronic cash anymore. I think Bitcoin is more of a store of value, and you're welcome to think otherwise. I mean, if you want to invest in Bitcoin Cash because you think it's a peer-to-peer cash system, you go ahead, because I'm not going. And we have a comment here saying OPEC is a cartel. Well, I think Bitmain and Bitcoin Cash is a cartel as well. So definitely don't want to invest too much into Bitcoin Cash for me. You know, that's my personal view, and I'm not your financial advisor. Your capital is your own risk. So make sure you look out for that. That being said, we're going to go on to the altcoins now. So we have a couple of questions on ZCN and Zero Chain and Ethereum. So we're going to go through Ethereum first. And hopefully you guys learned a little bit about what Bitgo does and why it's actually so pivotal for institutions to invest into Bitgo and actually use Bitgo. And yeah, guys, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up and like, share for a chance to win some free crypto. We're going to start that again for a chance to win some free cryptocurrency. So go ahead and do that, and I would be greatly obliged. We do this every single day, guys. We're one of the older YouTube channels on the stream. We're not here. Maybe our production isn't the greatest. Maybe we're not the funniest, but we're here. We're consistent. Whether it be a bull market where YouTubers will start flooding back in, or it'll be a bear market where YouTubers will not be flooding in, like right now. There's several huge YouTube channels that are bigger than us that jumped up because of their, whether it be production value or comedy or educational value, that have basically shut down because it's a bear market, because there's not much interest. But we're here for the long haul, guys. So do me a favor and smash that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. That being said, let's go over to Ethereum USD. And this is completely live, guys. ETH USD. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I just want to say that. Wow, that's a steep price. Whew. Let's look at this on the technicals. So we have self signal. Oh my god. This does not look good for Ethereum, huh? I never sell out of my Ethereum position fully. I have sold around 70 to 80% of my total Ethereum stack. At around 600, I sold most of it. So I'm waiting to buy back in, and it's showing a nice little floor here. And what do I mean by floor? Let's draw horizontal line. Actually, I don't like that at all. Let's draw a trend line here. So we're seeing some resistance coming through here, but that being said, I mean, Ethereum is just so volatile right now, and until Casper and all the upgrades are actually hashed out, I think it's going to be one heck of a ride for Ethereum, and I think Ethereum could go down to the 150s again, and I don't doubt that whatsoever. So this is on Coinbase. We saw a price of 183 on Coinbase, so we'll probably hit that again, most likely, and I think this is an ample buying opportunity for anyone who wants to get back into Ethereum. I think Ethereum is here for the long haul. I think Ethereum, I don't even consider Ethereum an altcoin anymore. So that being said, you know, it's how do I even say this? It's a 50-50 split right now of whether you should buy Ethereum right now. But right now, I think that we are still headed in a bear market. As Bitcoin starts to drop, I think Ethereum will continue to drop. So that being said, you know, that's pretty much my analysis on Ethereum. My buy levels would be closer to that 190 to 182 mark, 187 mark rather. 187 to 190 mark is my buy levels for Ethereum. I'm definitely not getting into Ethereum anytime soon. This is the weekly on the 4-hour. It actually still looks like it's going to drop a little bit. So, you know, we hit a low of 184 here. Historically, we've hit a low of 167 in the recent history. So I definitely don't think Ethereum is going to go anywhere, but I definitely think that you could buy at a lower price. I just don't want people to buy at a higher price. You know, my whole object here is to make as much money as possible and to accumulate as much Ethereum and Bitcoin as possible. If Ethereum falls, will altcoins fall too? That's a good question. Yes and no. Some of the shittier altcoins, yes, by the nature of being on strictly DEXs. If Ethereum falls, the altcoins will fall. But some of the more established cryptocurrencies that are on Ethereum, like Omise Go and GBT, I don't think will take much of a hit if Ethereum falls. So I guess I'd be considered a GBT whale now. I own a fractional percent of GVT, so GVT is still continuing to make that beautiful, beautiful run up, over 200%, over 200% in the last 2-3 months. So that being said, you know, I don't think this is going to drop anytime soon because there is a use case for it. There's actually a use case for it. So I don't think that it's strictly correlated in any means or fashion. But that being said, let's go on a couple more altcoins and call it a day. But hopefully you guys learned a little bit about wow, this looks very messy. I don't even want to chart this. Look at these huge gaps. Yeah, I don't really like this too much. I'm probably not gonna look at that. And hopefully you're talking about 0x. Jeez. So we also have a question on 0x, which just got listed on Coinbase. So we're still seeing a nice little pump there, but we saw the listing happen, and it's sort of decreased from when the listing happened to now, and then increased again. And so right now it's just trying to find its stability. RSI is super high. MACD is kind of waning here. Even if we look at volume here, volume is starting to drop off, but not by too much. I definitely would look at this closely, and I wouldn't get in right away. It's a lot of the hype is driven around the Coinbase listing. So yeah, I definitely don't think I would get into it right now. Right now, what I'm focused on is buying and selling Bitcoin, and trying to find the most opportune moments to buy and sell Bitcoin. When we are in a bull market, you will see this channel completely evolve, right? You'll see the channel completely evolve from being strictly a Bitcoin and Ethereum channel like we are now, and news driven, to an altcoin and altcoin purveyor and altcoin trading channel. But right now in bear markets, I don't think it's advantageous for anyone to take positions in a lot of the shittier altcoins that, for example, on Listia and Binance. So that being said, guys, I really do appreciate everybody tuning in. Do me a favor and smash that thumbs up, because I truly would appreciate it. And if you're on Twitter, leave us a comment and give us a share. And I really do appreciate everyone joining over on Twitter, Facebook. Actually, Facebook's our biggest community, bigger than YouTube, but we only have YouTube comments that are showing up on stream, so everyone sees the YouTube comments. So yeah, I really do appreciate everyone joining in today. Keep your heads up, guys. Set your stop losses, and have a good one, guys. Appreciate it. Oh.